Hi, my name is Ray. My teammates are Rima, Ati, and Manisha. Today we are going to be discussing our research project. This video presentation will explore research surrounding classroom management. Our research aims to identify the essential elements and teacher attributes involved in effective classroom management. First, what is classroom management? Classroom management reflects a teacher's in-class activities such as learning activities, teacher and student relationships and behavior, social communication and order within the classroom. Stewart 2017. Classroom management is important because it affects students' engagement, learning and academic outcomes. It develops peer relationships as well as positive student-teacher relationships, and it aims to equip students with required life skills. Our literature reviews investigated classroom management. Our group divided this broad topic into 4 more focused areas to understand more about the overall topic. Thus, we conducted our own literature reviews into our chosen focused area. These subtopics are student-teacher relationships, teachers' self-efficacy, differentiated instructions, and teachers' reflective practice.
Literature review. The findings of the study by White suggest that positive teacher-student relationship encourages student engagement and minimizes disruption in classroom. Teacher-student relationship also influences students' emotional and social development. According to Stewart, a positive teacher's self-efficacy in the classroom environment is crucial in creating a productive environment and managing the classroom. A reflective practice by teachers in terms of planning, designing, structuring, preventing, instructing, and developing positive environments helps in developing students' social and emotional aspects, interpersonal relationships, along with the teacher's efficacy. A study conducted by Venable highlighted the relation between the implementation of differentiated instruction strategies and student engagement. The finding of the study showed that students who receive differentiated instruction teaching style helps them to actively engage and get involved during learning.
The synthesis of our individual literature review revealed 3 common themes, which are student engagement, student socio-emotional learning, and teachers' effectiveness. In terms of student engagement, teachers' efficacy is believed to play a central role. According to Bandura 1993, teachers believe in the ability to motivate and create learning opportunities affects outcome expectation and teaching competence. This thereby impacts the learning environment they create and correspondingly impacts student engagement and achievement. Student engagement can be maximized by building positive relationship with student as it helps teachers to provide student-centered learning, which is focused on how their students learn and what engages them in learning. Tomlinson 2008 proposed that teachers need to establish a trust to make students care about what they require to learn and be able to connect ideas of learning. Hartman also found a strong correlation between the degree in which teacher uses reflective practices and effectiveness of their classroom management. Through reflection of the practice, teacher can maximize student engagement as it helps them to consequently develop and explore new ways to demonstrate knowledge. The second theme that emerged in all of our studies was socio-emotional learning. Studies suggest that emotion and learning have a symbiotic relationship in the brain. Therefore, students are more likely to excel in a positive learning environment, which nurtures relationships, provides a safe zone from stresses, and encourages a sense of kinship in the classroom. Teacher reflection is valuable in fostering high-quality teaching and learning and developing positive socio-emotional skills in children. To maximize the schooling experiences of all youth, educators and practitioners need to devote effort to create nurturing and developmentally appropriate school environment so students are emotionally connected to school activities and personals. Dwyer 2004 suggests that by fostering supportive classroom culture where students are accountable for their actions, helps to strengthen teacher-student relationship. This in turn helps students to monitor and self-regulate their behavior and promote positive cognitive and emotional development. Further analysis of individual literature review revealed teachers' effectiveness as another common theme. The root cause of most behavioral issue in classroom is due to teachers' inability to cater for individual needs of students. Only in a situation of actual teaching can an individual teacher assess the capabilities he or she brings to the task and experiences the consequences of those capabilities. In situations of actual teaching, teachers gain information about how their strengths and weaknesses play out in managing, instructing, and evaluating their student. Current study also stresses the importance of designing activities that are relevant and authentic for students by requiring activities that utilizes high-order thinking skill that includes disciplinary inquiry, makes real-world connections, and is rigorous and includes plentiful opportunities for students to collaborate and interact. Hillier 2011 explains that in order to be more proactive, teachers are required to be constantly innovative. Not only does it require beginning with an end goal in mind, but also constantly reflecting on what is working and what is not and making changes accordingly. Only by doing so, teachers can foster a positive learning environment and effectively manage their classroom. These common themes that emerged in our study ties into our overall topic of classroom management, as effective classroom management is only possible if students are engaged in learning and when effective pedagogical practices are implemented to promote students' cognitive, emotional, and positive behavioral skills.
A number of data collection methods was carried out in our research. This involved observation, survey, and teacher interviews.
The data synthesis was obtained based on the findings from individual research relating to classroom management. All participants were consented and informed of the purpose of the research prior to data collection. Observation of 5 teacher participants in the classroom setting, which focused on how teachers' relationship with students shaped students' behavior during that class. Camp suggests observation allows the researcher a direct and insightful way to learn about behavior and the context in which the behavior occurred. Notes were taken to record and describe everything that has been observed. Field note included social interaction between teacher and student and the classroom management strategies employed by the teacher that was being observed. The observation notes were coded using the established coding structure. Then categories and themes were deducted from the codes. Revealed the number of themes. First one was teacher's attitude, which included empowering students, students' sense of belonging in this classroom, and effective feedback provided by the teacher, which shaped the students' behavior in the classroom. And the second theme was classroom culture, which included culture of achievement and high expectation from the teacher, which helped to manage the classroom effectively. And the last theme was socio-emotional learning, which included rewards and recognition and positive reinforcement from teacher and students self-regulating and monitoring behavior, which also helped to manage the classroom effectively.
Data collection protocols in this research used in-school teacher survey focus on the individual inquiry of how the level of teacher self-efficacy informs classroom management. The survey findings suggest that when teachers they tend to manage students' behavior better than the teachers who have low self-efficacy. Additionally, the data analysis revealed that the teachers with high self-efficacy skills also possess effective classroom management skills and productive instruction strategies to develop their social-emotional learning and work effectively toward improving their academic outcomes. The second survey focused on the literature question of how differentiated instruction improves classroom management and increases students' learning engagement. The survey contains several key areas in which differentiated instruction can be implemented to engage a student with learning. These include areas such as product, content assessment, and also student interest. Similarly, the teachers in this survey were able to reflect on the degree in which the differentiated instruction are implemented in their classroom management. The most significant result of this survey indicated low moderate level of differentiation use. The finding They reveal that while the teachers are generally understand the importance of differentiation in the classroom, however, the degree in which participants implemented differentiated do not reflect in the area of process and product.
The last data collection method involved interviewing 10 high school teachers using teachers' reflective practices in managing behavior in classroom. The result from interviews suggested that 80% of the teacher, when they used teacher-focused classroom technique, it worked really well with bottom classes. However, using student-centered intervention worked very well with the top classes as they were more responsible about their learning. Activity between reflective practice and efficacy, every teacher agreed that there is a very strong connection as they were able to find out the loopholes in the bad lesson which can be fixed in early stage because 90% of the teachers said that the effective strategy for classroom management is establishing the routine and following up in the consequences. 67% agreed with seating planning as the best strategy to minimize the disruptive behavior in classroom. And interestingly, every teacher used wait for the attention strategy for the classroom management. 80% of the teachers said that they are consistent with the expectation with the students in regard.
The outcome of the data collection has led to a recurrent theme of when you have a genuine interest in students' needs, give them the space to be part of the learning, engage them through positive relationship, and provide instruction lesson activities that is based on the students' interests, their social emotional development, and by relating learning context to the students' real life, are fundamental to the positive behavior and effective classroom management. Although the result presents an important elements to effective classroom management. However, it's important to point out that there are a number of limitations involved in this research data protocol. This includes the gap in the finding due to limited data pool and participant. Also, the triangulation method was not achieved due to using only one method for each research. And lastly, the duration of the study. The data collection applied in short period of time. This caused the narrowing in the spectrum of the results.
The intervention strategies that our group is proposing involves a deliberate intervention for teaching methodology that are more student-centered and development of student social skills. One of the interventions that we will be implementing in our classroom is collaborative problem solving, as it allows teachers to confer, consult, and collaborate as a team to identify learning and behavioral needs of their students so they can plan and implement strategies that will serve those needs. Dyer suggests that collaboration is effective and meaningful when the teachers, school staff, students, and their parents or carer have opportunities to work together and share information so they can focus on individual students' needs. While an individual teacher who implements quality instructional strategies may make a difference in classroom, but it becomes very challenging for a single person to be able to meet all of a students' needs without involving co-teachers, students themselves, and their parents or carer. Hence, we believe collaborative problem solving is of paramount importance for effective classroom management and will form significant part of our pedagogical practice. Another intervention is developing social skills of the students which will facilitate interaction and communication with others in verbal and non-verbal ways. According to Ormiston and Cummins, social skills act as a guide for students' behavior as it teaches students an appropriate way to behave in a given classroom or school situation. This further establishes a positive, productive, and safe climate for instructions and learning with improved on-task behavior and improved achievement.
Hence, we believe that classroom management is positively linked to social and emotional learning.
Reflecting on the gaps of our current study, there are a number of improvements proposed to be applied in our future action research. This includes integrating a collection of factors besides classroom that might affect students' behavior and learning engagement, also involving a larger number of participants in the study from different